So number 3. A debtor who owed Brogan 420 sent a cheque of 400 in full settlement. Enter correctly in the books. No entry made when the cheque dishonoured or the debtor became bankrupt. So the accounts involved, there's going to be 3 accounts involved in this. So the should and the actual was not done. Nothing was done. So we need to just think about the should being the correction. So I'm just going to record this once. So we had already cancelled the debtor, so don't need to go near the debtor, but we will put into the bank, okay, the fact that we received, that we had less money in the bank than we thought we had. So he got a cheque of 400, which we would have put in as a plus, but when the cheque bounced, we have to put it in as a minus, so that'll be on the credit side. We gave a discount at the time, so we'll have discount. Now this is a debtor, so it's discount allowed, which is an expense. And that discount would have been 20. The difference between 420 and 400. And because we're never going to get the money, the full amount of the original debt, 420, that's going to be put in as a bad debt. So bad debt expense, so we have to ask ourselves, asset, liability, expense, or income. Bad debts is an expense account. We have more expense, so therefore we have 420 on the debit side there. Now, let's just see, does that look right? Okay, I have I have 2 debits here of 440 and I have a credit of 400, so there's a mistake. So the mistake in this case, I'm hoping that you've spotted, is discount allowed. I didn't allow more discount, I'm cancelling a discount, so my mistake is here. So that should be on the opposite side because I'm cancelling a discount that I gave, because I have less expense now for discount allowed. So let's move on and put this into our general journal. So we have a credit in bank of 400. We have 420 as bad debts. And we have a credit of discount allowed. So that's number 3. Moving on to number 4. So Brogan returned a motor car. So remember his business, he is a garage owner, so when he returns a motor car, that's going to be purchase returns. Now, that's the first one. Now, he returned a motor car, bought on credit 38. Transaction was entered the wrong amount on the correct size ledger. And then later on, there was a restocking charge. So I'm going to do this as 2 parts. So I'm going to call this first one 4A. So, so this is just the fact that the purchase returns and creditors were done wrong. So what I did was I put in, let's see, 38 400 is what I should have put in. Purchase returns, so just double check I'm on the correct side here. Purchases is an expense, so that means the debit side would be a plus side of purchases. When I return, it's the opposite, so that's correct, yeah. Creditors is a liability. I have less liability, I owe less money when I return goods, so that would be a debit in the liability account, so that's correct. So 38 400 should have gone there. What I actually did was I put 28 400 in both places. So to fix it, I'll put 10 grand. So that's my correction. Correction here, and this is just the first part of it, so I'm going to put that straight into my general journal. And again, I'm doing this as 2 parts, but I'll add all included as one. So we had a credit of purchase returns of 10 grand, and then 10 grand debit and creditors. And again, just to repeat it again, why we did that, we under recorded 10 grand in the purchase returns and creditors, so we're just adding another 10 grand to bring it back up to the figure it should be. Okay, so let's have a look at 4B. So second part of it, credit note arrived from supplier showing restocking charge. the only entry made was a credit. Okay, so what we'll do with this one, the easiest thing to do with this is to cancel what we did do and then do what we should have done in the first place. Okay, so the only entry, I'm just going to cancel that first. The only entry made was a credit of 2,300 in the creditors account. So therefore, I'm going to do a correction I'm just going to cancel this first, 2,300 in the creditors account. So that cancels the thing that we did do. So now I'm going to do what I should have done in the first place. So this is the actual, and this is the correction. Okay, this is what I should have done in the first place. So €100 restocking charge. So that means it's going to be taken away from, reduce the amount of our purchase returns. So that's €100 on the opposite side. And the creditors are charging me more money, so I owe them more money. So that's €100 on the debit side. So I'll put those parts in there now. Okay. So just to reiterate, I've cancelled the thing that I did first that was wrong, and then I'm just going to put in the what should have happened in the first place. So back over here, purchase returns. So we have a debit and purchase returns. 100, and we have 100 in creditors. And then we have a debit and creditors to cancel what I did in the first place of what was the number, 2,300. Now just be aware, what you now have 1, 2, 3 entries in the creditors account. You could have put the net figure in, which would be 30,200. You could have put that in instead, just so that you understand. And same with purchase returns. I could have put 9,900 in purchase returns instead. I just find it's easier to break it up into two separate things, and each change that I make, I record each of them. Okay, so I'm just going to say wrong of returns, and later restocking charge. Now do get in the habit of doing these narrations, because you do get marks for them. This, and the very last stage, I asked myself, do I need a suspense? Do I have the same number of debits and credits? And I don't. I have 10,100 here, and I have an extra 20,300 here. So I need to add 20,300 onto this side to make two of them same. So that means I have a credit in suspense of the 20,300. And don't forget your narration.